Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy, and today we're going to have a look at the Curseling, which is in the new Age of Sigmar box set, Arcane Cataclysm. That is right. And honestly, instead of going through the entire box and just being a bit annoyed because I'm not a fan of Realm Lords, I generally think Realm Lords are really generic looking. When compared to everything else in Age of Sigmar, these are quite generic looking, but that's my opinion. I'm just going to focus on one really cool model, which is the Curseling. Because the Curseling is my favourite model in this box set. And it's just a brilliant model. I just think it's really cool. I mean, the armor that this person has is really nice as well, and I would use this model as a Chaos Lord for Thousand Suns in a heartbeat because it's so good. Or maybe as like a Chaos Cultist Commissar or something. There is so much, I have so many ideas on how to use this model in 40k. But as a standalone model, it is really nice to see. I just really like it. I mean, there's the person coming out of this person's back that's grabbing on to the helmet and sort of just screaming in pure terror. There's feathers. The paint job helps, but the sculpt looks really nice. I like the different weapons it has. It has a sword and a staff. I like the dichotomy. God, that's a wanky word. But I like the dichotomy between the two. I also noticed that this model has got 3 hands. It's got 1, 2, 3. Because there's one on its helmet, one holding stuff, and one just trying to crawl out. It is such a cool model. It's just a really nice model. I have nothing else to say really other than this model is fantastic, and I would buy it as soon as it's a standalone model because it just looks really cool. I really like this model. And then you look at this one, the Sigmar Enlightener, and I don't like it. I don't like the Sigmar Enlightener. I'm sorry, but I just don't. It looks far too generic. And maybe it's the pose. Maybe it's the pose I don't like, because I like models that look really weird or like in combat poses. This one just looks like, ha ha ha, I have arrived. And it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, the model is called the Enlightener, and if I was in charge, I would put like an orb or have lightning effects coming off the staff, and instead of her holding this weird lantern thing, I would have the sword, so she's holding a sword in one hand, the staff in the other, and it looks like she would be charging in, instead of this, ha ha ha, look at me, I'm floating. Well, she isn't even floating. I mean, look, she's standing at this. It looks like she's just balancing, which is really weird, especially because it's supposed to be like a combat box, you know, sort of like where models are in combat, and it just seems really weird that in the middle of combat there's just this one leader just in the middle of it all, just balancing on a rock. It's not that good. Also, I don't know if it's the paint job, but the eyes on the helmet version of this model, or the helmet version of this head, I should say, looks terrible. It's the eyes. I don't know if they're the paint job, and I can't talk because my painting is horrendous. I haven't painted I haven't painted any models in over 3 months now, which is kind of bad for me, but but I have been repairing some, so swings and roundabouts. But it's the eyes. I don't know if it's how the sculpt is or if it's the paint job. The eyes look weird. I also, again, the weird lantern thing, I don't like. Maybe instead of her holding the lantern thing, it was actually inside the staff here. So like this would be in here, and in her other hand she would have the sword, maybe I would like the model more. But instead it just looks weird. I don't like it. But if you do, then that's great. Me personally, I think it's a bit weird. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of Realm Lords. I like the horses, though. The horses look cool. But everything else, it ain't my cup of tea. It ain't my cup of tea. I think the Zinch side of this box is a lot better. I do like the Zinch side a lot more. I mean, yeah, these models look great. I think I just like the Zinch side more, and I'm just incredibly biased. I'm just not a fan of Realm Lords. That's the issue. I'm just not a fan. So, and I'm going to end it here because otherwise it'd just be a mess. And I don't like being negative about stuff in this hobby. But if I don't like something, then I'll rather say I don't like something than pretend that I like the box set when I clearly don't, because that's just odd. Anyway, I've been Idiotic Synergy. Thank you for listening. I've got a Ko-fi where I write dumb Warhammer stories for people's models, and that's been going quite well. And also, you can subscribe and like the video. I've got the Necromunda video script all set up, and next video will be that Necromunda video that I'm working on. So, it's all good, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.